data science and analytics. And I'm working here part-time as a digital communications and specialist at the Career and Professional Development Office. Thank you so much. It's
Thank
great to
you.
see you all.
And our team, we do have data analytics, we have partnerships, and we also have peer consultants. And so we are a full service office for the students that join CGU. And I just wanted to give one point that CGU, once you join us, you have our resources available to you for the rest of your natural life. So once you graduate, even 5-10 years out, you can still come back to us for professional development services. Michelle, did you want to continue and maybe take some of these?
Absolutely. And again, let me just reiterate, please ask questions as we go. I love to kind of filter some of the questions, but want to give you an idea of the way that our office works. And then one other thing, I've worked at 7 institutions. I have to say though that, and I'm not necessarily just partial, but I do like the fact that this is graduate only. I want to emphasize that. And the focus is really on where you are in this space in your life. And it can feel a little daunting, especially for those of you that come with multiple identities and multiple affinity groups, and whether you be having a family, or if you're remote, or if you're traveling, and all of those things. So we're very cognizant of that as career professionals and practitioners. But let's delve into this. So this is just 7 quick things on the screen that talk about what we do in our office. There's many layers to them. And then what we do within each is we help you leverage your own career and that advancement part of it. But in the sense of career exploration, we'll really dive deep into why you're here, what that purpose was for joining this next journey, whether it be for a master's or a PhD, and kind of delving into your purpose and talking about that. So the career exploration part is really where the students and alumni have that emotional connection, kind of where sometimes they'll step back and say, I've never been asked my purpose, or I really know that I love doing this. And so we'll kind of talk about that in a lot of ways. It's not our job necessarily to tell you what to do, because that's just not, it's not our purpose. And I don't know I would be able to do that, but it's really to kind of dive deep in your head and to be able to support and help. So I see that someone cannot hear any sound. I would recommend probably logging off and logging back on. Can everyone else hear sound?
Thumbs up.
Thank you, Alan. Okay, excellent. So I did that one. Do you want me to do another one?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to jump down to the end, and y'all, they knew I would do that. So offer negotiation. I love offer negotiation, financial literacy. It's so important. I actually met with my one of my financial advisors this morning. We really need to protect ourselves. We need money in order to, to have Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but also just to be able to promote our career and to make sure that we are being supported in the sense of our worth. And so I like to talk about the entire offer negotiation, and our team does too. So it's not just about the salary, but everything that comes behind it. And that's really, really important to us. And so we'll dive deep into that. We'll help you understand it. If you're new to investing, we'll talk a little bit about what do I do with my package in the sense of like a Roth or a 401k. We obviously can't give you the advice, but we can kind of discuss it with you and discuss if the company's not offering things like investing in or contributing to Social Security and all of those other things. So we will talk about the entire package, and I love talking about money. So I will pause and let's pass it over to Deborah. Deborah, pick a couple that you want to chat about.
Sure, I'd love to. So another area that we help students in is employer engagement. And so we have contact with quite a few employers that are in the area as well as across the US. And our goal is really form those relationships with them and form a pipeline for both them and for our students, that they are getting, the employers know they're getting quality students if they're hiring from our students. And then also being able to have those opportunities widely distributed to the students, so they are aware of it, able to apply for those positions. Some of the ways we do that, we do have employer information sessions We also do a week-long mock interview week in the spring. And we ask a lot of these employers if they're willing to donate their time to interview our students. And it's a mock interview, but we've had a few students that actually get jobs out of it. A lot of students will get that networking piece where the person they interviewed with will give them some really great advice or connect them with someone in their own network. So we're constantly trying to build those relationships between the employers and our students. We also do document review. That's probably a lot of what we do. That could be a CV, it could be a resume, it could be your LinkedIn profile. For students that are coming from another country, oftentimes what's on a CV or resume is a little different from your country to the US. So we help you navigate that. And if you're applying for US jobs, what do you need to have on those documents that you have? Some of our students have their own portfolio, their own website. So we also help by reviewing those. Ro, do you want to take a few?
Of course. And just before I delve into it, I think we had a question about who is the appropriate admissions rep for a certain program. So I will leave it to our admissions people, since they know their teams well, to put that information in an answer. There was one question that Cynthia asked, would Gigi be the appropriate person for humanities? Please feel free to go ahead and respond accordingly. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the career search strategies and the interviewing and maybe a touch upon network and branding. Currently, in the job market, at least in the US, networking and branding is essential now to find a position, because you will be applying to positions that thousands of other applicants will be applying to. So we do teach how to network appropriately. I know people say network, but the practical aspect, how to actually do that. We will teach you how to do that as well. And if we have international students here, networking means something different here in the US than it maybe does in your nation as well. So that's something that we will tailor toward the specific industry and the employer. The search strategies as well, depending on what program you guys are applying for here at CGU, that strategy is also a little different. We cannot say that there's a blanket approach if you're in the humanities as opposed to, let's say, a STEM program. And even within each group, there's different ways to do that. So we do offer in our office tailored strategic ways to engage. And that's something that we do through speaking with you initially. So it's not an equation we have, it's more of a customized approach that we do have, and we do have to meet you. So we are not a placement agency, right? We do teach you how to get jobs and how to best prepare you to find placements yourselves. I just want to make that clear as well. And interviewing, of course, we do work with you because there's various different types of interviews, from video interviews to one-on-one, phone interviews with HR, and panel interviews. So we will train you and do mock interviews as well, and we will have a platform that's going to help you with that as well. And let's go to the next slide. Michelle, did you want to take on Handshake? Is that okay?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So Handshake is actually a career platform that is used in many universities nationwide, and it has a host of different areas to it. In a nutshell, though, you can kind of see at the top, you can make appointments with us, you can use resources, experience, and they have surveys and so on. So, but let me delve into it. When you make that appointment, you just go in, you find a time that works for you. I will say, if there's not a time that works for you, just email us and we will accommodate that time. We might be on different time zones right now, or some people may say I can only do at noon my time, or I can only do 7 a.m. It doesn't really bother us. We just need to know. So just communicate with us and we'll be able to figure out a time to connect. With regards to all of our events, and you'll see that on the left-hand side on the screen, a little bit on the left next to the word Handshake, it's tiny. All of our events are posted on there. They're also posted on our website as well. We do have a host of events throughout the semester and the academic year. And we always try to collaborate with those events as well. So, and we're very innovative and creative. And as most of you either are employees or employers, you're also students. And like I said, you come with all of these different identities in a sense. If you ever wanted to collaborate on one of the events, we love for students to join us and to be a part of that facilitation. Some people do it because they want that comfort of learning how to present. And some people do it because that's just their knowledge and their background. And we want to take advantage of your intellectual capital. So, and you can search employers on there. There's a lot of different employers on there. There's different employment opportunities. People will ask us straight out, are these employment opportunities just for California? No, they're all over the United States, and some are international as well. So Handshake is kind of a beast in itself, but it's wonderful in the sense that it has a lot to offer. So please take advantage of it. I will say that once you have matriculated completely, which means you leave admissions, you've paid a deposit, you'll then be sent over to our Office of Institution or our Office of Information Technology. And then your Handshake account will be established at that point. You'll normally have access within 2 weeks after the matriculation part. And so you can utilize our services and be on Handshake way prior to you actually starting classes. So I think that might be everything I covered. Are there any questions regarding Handshake? Don't be shy. Okay, we'll move to the next one, but if you think about it, let me know. Are the jobs currently posted? Oh, for federal work study, the only ones? No, they're posted for everything, and they're posted for all of the 7 C's. And so if you can hear me, Cynthia, because I think you couldn't hear, but we can also type it in there as well. But for those of you that can, they are posted for all of them. So all of the student support staff positions, which I think CGU has about 400 to 500 student support staff members. Yes, the 7 C's. Yes, thank you, Ro. They're part of the Claremont Consortium. So a lot of the, I want to mention this part, a lot of the teaching assistant positions are at the 5 C's. And so if you're looking to be go into teaching in some capacity, you can join any of the 5 C's and you can do the teaching assistant positions. Do the student positions count as federal work study if they aren't marked as such? Some may. And so that's going to be in collaboration with our financial aid office, and then it would be in the department. And so we can help you with that as well. We can guide you to the next person. So those are great questions. And our email, Cynthia, is straight up above. It's career.center@cgu.edu, and we can schedule an individual time to chat with you as well.
All right.
Okay, what's next, Ro?
All right. So Deborah, did you want to talk about some career competencies?
I'd love to.
Thank you.
So the career readiness competencies, we use those as a guide, and those are basically what employers are looking for students, that they come ready, prepared, critical thinking, communication, teamwork, the technology piece, leadership, professionalism, career and self-development, and then equity and inclusion. So those are broad areas. And what we do, we plan a lot of our programming around those. We work with students one-on-one to assess where you're at in each of those areas, what we can do to help resource you that you can develop and grow. On the right side, you see the job outlook. So this was done by NACE, which is a National Association of Career and Employers. And so these were the types of jobs that employers are looking for. And so this is from 2021, 2022. And that's just kind of to give you an idea of what employers are looking for, what we as a university are trying to do to help you reach that competency, both in career, but also within your educational program. And our office does work with and collaborate with the different programs to help build in career readiness, to come and present, and then also they have their piece that they build into the curriculum.
Thank you. All right. And of course, feel free to keep dropping those questions in. This is a sample of some of the events and programs that our office, our acronym for Career and Professional Development is just CPD. Okay, so CPD does have some stuff, and you guys can see some of these on your you can take a picture of that QR code and that'll go directly to our website, which will be sharing the information of the programs and events that we'll be having in the upcoming semester. So that's something for you to look at as well and to figure out which one you guys wanted to join. But one of the big ones is interview skills. Now we have the AI and how that can support your own job search, and crafting your personal story through your resume, CVs, cover letters as well. So some of these things are really important. Last semester, we also had something called the Career Mandala, which our director, Michelle, led, regarding on how to figure out your core values and what resonates with you, so you can figure out a little bit more on who you are before you actually delve into what type of job you're going to search for. So we do have an all-inclusive series that's coming up soon. So feel free to take a picture or look at that QR code and check our website for upcoming events as they come up. These are just some slides on some of the events that we have or will be having soon. So you can see in September, right? Late September, we have something about professional etiquette. And also we have something on AI in October. And if you wanted to register once you're matriculated, you can actually click on those QR codes on the bottom right, and you can register for those once you've been accepted to CGU. But you can keep those QR codes somewhere, and you will have somebody ask about the recording of this. You will be able to reach out to your admissions rep. They will have the recording available to you, so you can speak with them, and then they will be able to share that information with you. And then these are, again, some of the other ones that we've had before that we will be having in November. We have something about informational interviews. And informational interviews are basically you're interviewing other connections and networks to figure out more information and to create a rapport with potential people. So this is one of the networking platforms that we do have available to train students. And this is something that we had last semester, right? Michelle, did you want to talk about these two at all and how they were pretty successful events for us?
Sure, absolutely. So, the one on the left, Ryan Patel, the little picture in the middle, he's actually one of our Drucker School of Management advisory board members, and he's also a CNN correspondent. He's just known, throughout the United States and internationally as well. A wonderful guy, very personable, and you can get to know him well. One of his good friends is Duncan Scott, who is the senior vice president for strategic sourcing and quality control. You can see that on there for New Balance. And so the two of them came together and had a really great chat in our Drucker Institute, which is on the campus. And it was awesome. We offered it and opened it to the actual Claremont community in the sense of Claremont colleges. And so we had a mix of our students and then the 5C students. And he talked about the family side of the company, but also how he grew in his position and different things that he would do in those ebb and flows of his own career journey. And then with Naomi, she came to us through a recommendation, Paul Zach, who is one of our faculty members on campus, and Naomi actually works for Workday. She's the director of research. And so the two of them came together and did a career chat, and we do them throughout the year as well. And it's always nice to hear people's journeys just to get an idea of like, have I thought about that? Even if it's not in the same industry, it's so enlightening and insightful to kind of get an idea of how people are navigating and leveraging themselves within their own personal space and their own journey. So we will do the career chats throughout the semester as well. And again, if you're coming from an industry and you want to be a part of that career chat or you want to do a career chat, we're open to that as well. So we always love to have this mixed collaboration part of it, because we recognize that you're here as a student, but you're also an employee, or you're delving into that journey. So however it works for you, we're excited to kind of collaborate.
Hey.
Okay, Ro, let's look at the
Then
next
Deborah's gonna close us out a bit.
Yeah, so once again, we just wanted to share with you about our office and the resources that we have for you as students and as alumni. And just we're here to answer any questions you might have career related. Any admissions questions, we would just ask direct to your admissions counselor. The directors, they have that information, they know all the details and can help you with any if you haven't applied yet, how to apply, if you're still in the process of applying, or if you're admitted, what are next steps, they would be able to help you. But for us, we work hand in hand with them. We want to collaborate and resource students. And our big goal is for students to really recognize that your career journey should be along the same line as your academic journey. So they should go hand in hand. What we don't want to happen is to have you come do your academic program and at the very end of it, come to our office desperate to get a job and needing help, because it does take time. And we love to meet with students during their whole entire academic journey. And we really encourage you to do that and to take advantage of the programs that we offer. Again, we're really trying to get you to grow and develop those career competencies, and that you're going to be ready, you're going to be able to get your job or your promotion if you're going for a promotion, as you're even before you graduate or shortly thereafter. So we're here, as Rose said, we don't place you, but we're here to resource you and help teach you strategies and help you work through things so that you can attain your goals. But we would like to open it up if there's any additional questions. We are here. We have enough time. We're happy to answer those questions. So you can either unmute yourself and ask the question, or if you want to put it in the chat, whatever you feel comfortable with.
And we do have one question. Cynthia's asking about student positions. So I do realize that working on campus and trying to pay some of your tuition is important for our students. So the question is regarding the hour allocations for student workers. Are we allowed to juggle multiple part-time positions as long as they don't go over that 20 hours per week total? Okay. So Michelle, did you want to tackle that question?
Sure, absolutely. So the answer is yes, Cynthia. And for all of you that are interested in working, we have 6 student support staff members that work in our office. I don't know about if hours are dropping or so on. I'm not quite familiar with other people's budgets, but I can tell you that we do have students that work 10 hours in our office and 10 hours in another office. And then we also have students that work on our campus and then they work on the other campuses as well. So there's definitely ways to kind of figure out how to get to your 20 hours. But I do believe that we have students that work on our campus for 20 hours and then they work additional hours on the other campuses. We'd be more than happy to kind of chat with you about it more if needed. But yeah, it's definitely feasible. We have students that do this every semester. I can share with you that once you have matriculated, I don't believe that you can actually start working until you're physically in classes, and that can be virtually as well. So it wouldn't be that you could start now, even though you're going to be you're admitted and you're starting in the fall. I don't think that's a possibility.
Hey.
Oh, and don't worry about it. We're totally patient. I love questions, Cynthia. I see that. I ask a million questions because if I don't know the answer, I don't want to act like I do know the answer. So I'm glad that you're asking.
Okay. We have a question about the political science PhD. I'll try to look up that answer unless our admissions rep know that answer right away. And let's go to the next question about, go ahead.
Ro, I'm sorry, what's the question? Is it about who's running the PhD?
Yeah, who's the admission officer?
Yeah, I think right now it's Frank Frias
Okay.
currently. I think Frank is handling that program currently.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think there was another one that came, so we can put down Frank's email for you.
Sure.
And what is the deadline in the Department of Education? That's going to be Frank. Oh, there we go. So Frank's email is at the top of there. Well, kind of a little bit further up, but yeah. Dawn asked a question, is there help with digital multimedia resume portfolios? Absolutely. We have students that do a variety of portfolios and electronic portfolios because that's just the way our world has changed. And so what we'll do is we'll get you started on that. I actually have an alumni who she comes to me every 6 months or such, and we go through her digital portfolio and look through it and make some changes and adjustments from what's working and what's not working. So absolutely.
Okay. Next question here we have, how can I apply for a TA position? And in general, TA positions, so we did introduce you that Handshake platform, which is kind of like a job board schedule platform that we do have at CGU. And Deborah and Michelle, feel free to hop in after I give this answer. But TA positions, yes, they may be posted, but I always recommend that you directly speak with your department and the professor that you want to TA for, because sometimes TA positions are not posted. So there are positions available at the 5 Cs. Michelle said that acronym 5 Cs, which is basically our undergraduate consortium of 5 undergraduate colleges. So there are TA positions sometimes posted there, and they will be available as well on Handshake. But for at CGU, if you're asking about TA positions at CGU, I always say contact your department and also the professors that you want to actually TA for. Feel free, Deborah, Michelle, if you have any other advice to add to that. Okay. All right, great.
Just kidding. I was trying to talk, my mute was on and I was answering the other question on there. Yeah, so my daughter goes to Scripps College, and in her photography class, the TA was actually a CGU student. So they are waiting for you to be a part of this process. They are sister schools, and they want you to join their team as well. And then with regards to the assistantship outside of my department, absolutely. The faculty all know each other. It's a small community. You're going to find that right away. And if they don't offer it in your department or in that specific area, definitely delve out and introduce yourself. And we'll teach you how to feel comfortable with that as well.
The question that was asked about the PhD admission for Department of Education, Frank Frias is actually the person to actually go on that and ask that question as well. About the deadline as well. So Frank Frias's email is in there. He is our director of admissions. That's why he appears on different departments as well. Okay.
These are great questions.
Sure. Yeah, these are all good questions. Let's see. If I missed a question, please forgive me and just go ahead and raise your hand, and you can ask that live as well. I think we are hitting up all of them. Okay. Any questions in the audience? Feel free to unmute yourself or raise your hand. Okay. And we do have multiple admission reps here as well, if you have any just general questions about admissions.
Hi, my name is Janelle, and my video is suddenly not working.
It's okay.
But I was able to just join at the 15-minute mark. Thank you for this time. I'm interested in the organizational behavior master's program. And my question is, for the career services department, are there collected stats year over year about the variety of industries and companies that are connected with this office? And are those stats shared like within students, so that I as a student can know like this industry would be interested in this topic that I'm studying? So for example, like say like I'm coming from entertainment. I'm actually a variety of backgrounds, but I'm wondering to like go into like something like Southern California Edison perhaps, and we see more like energy kind of companies doing more organizational focused work like what I'm studying. So I'm like, oh, that would be good to know, like if those stats were available or if they're being collected at all.
I can answer that, or at least attempt to. So when you mean statistics, are you talking about like who's working in the industry?
Yeah.
And okay, great. So yes, that is wonderful. Thank you, Janelle, for the question. Our Office of Institutional Effectiveness does a comprehensive survey with our incoming students and our exiting students who are now alumni. And so that information is collected and aggregated and so on. And then it should be available. And sometimes it goes to the different actual, we'll call them schools because that's what they're called online. And so it can go over there. And then also the faculty in our department are also industry professionals as well. And they have a wealth of information in their head and a lot of contacts. And so sometimes what we'll do is we'll work with you, Janelle, and then we'll work with like Tiffany Berry, who is the dean, or I'll work with Gloria or Steven or whomever, right? And then the three of us will come together and talk about what your journey is looking like for you and what you're hoping to get out of this and what industry. And like you said, you feel like you're going from one totally different area of the world, from entertainment all the way over to Southern California Edison. But if
Yeah.
you're doing some of the same concepts within it, it actually is just learning the new terminology and going into a different industry, but still doing the same thing. And so it would be different if you said, Michelle, I'm an actor and now I want to be a data analyst. I'd be like, that's not an issue. We live in a country that allows us to do it, but there's just some different steps. So if you're going from entertainment, doing one thing, and going to Southern California Edison and doing something similar, then the transition is going to be teaching you how to articulate that change or that industry shift. And that's
Right.
easy enough to do. But then also finding out like what other alumni did that and where are they? And
Right.
so we can help you and show you how to tap into that alumni base.
Thank you.
Michelle, if I could add, I'm going to add
Okay.
something, Janelle, too, for you. I work at the Drucker School. I'm the director of admissions. I'm going to share with you something. This is what I send students whenever I meet with them. Give me a second to, where the heck? I'm pressing share. Why am I not seeing that? Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share you. This is like a booklet that CGU puts out. It'll share with you a few companies. We have thousands of graduates and thousands of companies that we work with. So Southern California Edison is one of the big ones. We get a lot of employees from there, but here is just some to show you some of the connections that we have. So we have grads working at these companies, which then affords you that connection as well. And then I know Michelle Rowe and Deborah also have grads that they've worked with at various companies. We have an alumni department that does that. I mean, I had a student in Texas the other day, and she asked me, how many grads are in Texas? There's 483 CGU grads in Texas right now. So we can't give her the whole list because of privacy, but what she was thinking, is there anybody in Texas who went to your school? And I'm like, yeah, 483 people. So that have graduated, that are there currently working in different capacities all over the state. The bulk of them are in sort of Dallas, Fort Worth area, but still, it's a surprise to both of us. She's like, I had no idea. And I didn't either. So we can get granular and get you more information, but you want to work at a company, there's CGU grads all over the world working that we try to network and help you with. So when you mentioned Southern California Edison, I know all of us sort of smiled and laughed because that's a really common one. Where if you said something obscure, then we might be scratching our heads, like something in the entertainment industry that we've never dealt with. But Southern California Edison's an easy one. So this is just a snapshot of that. And then are you admitted already, Janelle, to the program?
No, not yet. But very soon, hopefully.
Which program are you applying to?
A master's in organizational behavior and evaluation.
Okay. Okay. So whoever's helping you, is it Frank's helping you? Nathan, who's helping you in that one? Or is that
Regina?
Regina? Regina. So ask Regina to send you, and if she doesn't have it, I can give it to you, is this CGU at a glance, it's called, even though it says reimagine, it's at a glance. It's a 20-some page booklet, gives you a breakdown, like 52% of our faculty are ranked worldwide. It shows you that CGU as a whole, 8-to-1 student ratio, gives you some really good statistics here and a lot of other information. And then again, towards the back, towards the end of the booklet is that listing of some companies. Again, not all of them, but just gives you a sample. It's too many to put on our website. So this is like additional information. So she can send that to you. And if she doesn't have it, tell her to ask me. I'll send it to her, but I'm sure she has it.
Thank you. And I'm
You got
seeing
another
that
question.
too.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Roy, I'm seeing your the email address. Thank you. I'm also chatting with Regina today at 2:40, and so
Okay,
I'll be
great.
taking this question
You already
over.
know.
I have 2 more questions, but recognizing that there's 20 minutes left, I'm open to other people asking questions. Otherwise, I'll just take the rest, or not all the time, but I have 2 more questions, but I'll hold.
Go ahead and ask them. You have the spotlight right now, and we have some questions that are populating the chat room. We'll get to them as well, but go ahead and ask another question. It's okay.
Cool, thank you. For example, then, for myself as a student who can't wait to apply, I'm thinking then that how would you recommend myself as a student or any student being able to make the most of the office where, like, for example, like, yes, I'd love to work for Southern California Edison. So like day one, make an appointment with you as soon as I get admitted or as soon as I attend my first class, because my thinking is then that like the 2 years will go by very fast and I'll be interested to establish like milestones and like key companies I would want to make contacts with so that I can be early in the admission or the internship process, get my research projects together so that like I can be best prepared to propose on the work that I would do for them. Like I would love to be like that standout candidate for these internships that I want at the companies that I want. So like what would be like that kind of typical engagement process?
I can mention and talk. I mean, you're like the ideal person for us because we
Okay.
always say, please don't make your life an afterthought. We want you to take your academic and career journey and make them simultaneous. So I want you to hold hands along the way. The last thing you want to do is prepare for an outing or dinner more so than you would ever prepare for your career. So if you're expecting to be in a space that's 40+ hours a week and it's permanent, then you really do need to do some research and you need to prepare yourself for it.
Right.
And so I would just make it part of your regular scheduled meetings. It is optional for students and alumni, so it's not required like a class would be required, but it is required. You're not going through this journey just because you love taking tests and you love to go through an educational journey again without a mission behind it. And so what I would do is kind of delve into our office right when you acclimate, after you acclimate, or have a session before, just so you know your own expectations. And then schedule those regular meetings and say, Michelle, am I on track? Where are we going next? You know, what can I do? How can I engage in this journey a little bit deeper? I can tell you that when you simultaneously bring those in together, they kind of like mix each other. So it's like what you're learning at your internship or what you're learning at your job or what you're just learning anywhere is being reciprocated back into the classroom, and the classroom is being reciprocated back into where you go outside of there, and you'll see those connections. But that would be our advice. Just like anything else, we would never walk into the last day of class and say, I'm ready to take the final without having any knowledge. And so definitely don't do that with your career journey.
Great, thank you.
Absolutely. I saw one up here from Cynthia. Do internships count towards the 20 hours? No, they do not. This is just one of those regulations on different college campuses about how much you can work. Regina's information's there. How do I know my representative? I'm going to let the admissions team know that. And it's a very good question. Yes. Just let them know what program, just pop it in the chat and the admissions directors will be able to tell you right now. And economics is in our Department of Politics and Economics, our DPE, which falls under SSS PE. And so they'll let you know who that is. And then Dawn, what degrees, including PhDs, are available? Again, all of that is on the site. Your admissions representative and director will be able to support you there. And we would love for you to explore all the options for you. And I see that Roe dropped it in there. These are great questions. You guys are awesome. Yes, it is Franklin. Frank, we go by Frank, but Franklin is his real name. So it's franklin.frias@cgu.edu. Thank you. Did we answer all the questions? Nathan's email's in there. This is being recorded and we'd be more than happy to share that with you. Because I know some of you had to leave. Okay, awesome. What
I have
other?
one more question.
Yes.
For the one of my earlier answer, the one of your answers earlier was you included that there was some kind of existing institutional effectiveness department. And the reason why I mentioned Southern California Edison is because I understand that they also have a similar department, but it's called environmental stewardship. And it kind of does the same thing. And that's why I'm focused on my master's in organizational behavior, because like that's the kind of department that I want to work in. So I'm wondering that like among all of the companies that were just shown in the bullet point list there, do we know out of any of those companies that ones that actually have a dedicated organizational effectiveness institutional effectiveness, environmental stewardship type of dedicated department.
We can teach you how to look that up on your own. Just like when I applied for my job and so on, I had to kind of do that research. Our job is really to kind of teach you how to research a company to see if it matches your values and your ethics and integrity and everything that you want to see. But I could not tell you out of the companies listed, like which ones has, it's more like research and development is basically, it's institutional research. That's the
Thank you.
department that I'm talking about. But we can teach you how to get to that space and to understand what to start to look for in a company. And that's essentially important. You need to know what their mission is and do you believe in them? And can you support that in the sense of your day-to-day operational life? So, but yeah, we'll get you to that space and show you what to look for. Definitely. That's in the career exploration part and the job search part of the conversation.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions? We do appreciate your time today, Ro, Deborah, Michael, Adriana's, Steve, anybody want to share, say?
If you're considering 2024 the fall and you're not admitted, hurry up because you're running out of time. This is crunch time for us. So we are inundated with applicants and students scrambling. So we'll scramble with you, but we need you to take the first step and apply. We'll help you scramble. Let's put it that way.
Yes, we will, for sure.
We had two other questions. I'll start at the bottom, but would there be a meeting like this specifically for admissions? And so you can work with the great thing about being a small community, your admissions person will actually meet with you personally and talk to you about this journey. So you don't have to be in a group if you don't want to. And then the other one is, hello, everyone, can we do an internship while studying or only during breaks? Oh no, the internships are 12 months a year. That's going to be a commitment or relationship with you and that employer. So we don't have any set standards for that.
All great questions.
Mm-hmm.
I think one aspect that we haven't addressed for international students that are here as well, you know, you heard the acronym CPT, OPT, because you'll be on an F1 visa or J1 visa. So we'll discuss that as well when it pertains, you know, accordingly. But we are aware of those regulations and your visa status as well. So that's something that we can discuss with you guys one-on-one.
It looks like we did
Thank
have some
you.
people that just joined us, you know, or maybe hopped out and hopped back in. Again, we are recording this. It will be available to you. We have the list of people that attended today and so on. So if you have any questions for us, please feel free to message us. We love to talk to prospective students, admitted students, committed students. We just enjoy working with others, and that's why we chose the occupation that we did. And Ro or Deborah, I don't know which one, but they just dropped the email in the chat. It's career.center@cgu.edu.
And anybody that wants to meet with admissions, just reach out to CGU and say you'd like to meet with someone at admissions and tell us the program you want. We're happy to get you to that person. We'll meet with you one-on-one and go over the details to get in if you haven't done that already.
Yeah, and some of you may not even know what program you want to join yet, but you know that you want to go on and you want to increase that intellectual capital side of your higher education, and that's okay. We also have a lot of students that do dual degrees. So they'll be in two different schools and they'll mesh that amazing knowledge together. So the admissions team, they're extremely knowledgeable. Obviously, they're here. Not as awesome as us because Career Center is, you know, top, but we always say that we love our colleagues and they're pretty close.
Thank you, Michelle.
Absolutely, anytime. Any other questions before we hop off and everyone goes to their next exciting
Everyone
moment?
goes to Prime and buys things for Prime Day.
Well,
Yeah.
Michael, you didn't have to call me out that I was going to be doing that in a
Yes,
few minutes.
of course. Yes, please. Last day for the big sales. All right, guys, please reach out, and you can reach out to anybody here at CGU. If
Yeah.
we can't help you, we'll point you to somebody who can. So please don't stress.
Oh, we have another question.
What are the bases to choose the courses that will be studied in our
Well,
semester?
somebody helps you. So regardless of what programming, and you get a counselor that works with you one-on-one to help you pick the classes that you'll take and get you registered. So that isn't something you need to know. The big, more important thing is, one, determining a program that you're interested in, two, trying to get admitted for that program. So if you're not admitted, who cares? If you are an admitted student, then someone will help you get registered for those classes. We take care of that for you.
Yeah, they'll help you. They'll guide you. You're not going to do that on your own.
Absolutely.
We're too small of a community not to do that with you.
Yeah, the hard part is not the hard part, but the first part is meeting with admissions and then trying to get in and meeting the acceptance requirements. So if you're admitted, once you deposit, someone will help you get registered. If you're not admitted, focus on that, and then you can deposit and get registered.
And just right now, I did pop in the events calendar for admissions, the CGU admissions. I just put that in there. So you can see like today's admissions, event was listed on there as well. On Friday, for our veteran community, we do have a Discover CGU Veterans Welcome. That's going to happen this Friday as well. So when you click on that link, you'll see some of the admissions events that are coming up in the upcoming, some of you said, I want to talk with this school or another school. Some of the schools are actually having their own admissions event. So you can check that out as well.
Well, I think we may be done. Thank you, everyone, for being in attendance. We do appreciate your time, definitely. And feel free to reach out to any of us and we'll be able to support and help as you kind of figure out the next exciting moment and journey for you. Is there anything else?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ro.
Sure,
Thank you,
of
my
course.
hair.
Yeah.
Thanks,
absolutely.
everyone.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck. Good luck to all of you. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Thank
have
you.
a great day.